Welcome to Professor Academy's new channel, Professor Academy English, which is dedicated exclusively for the discussion of literature, language, and linguistics. And in today's video, we are going to discuss a literary concept called flash forward. Flash forward, also called prolepsis, is a narrative technique which is used to anticipate events that are yet to happen in a story or a narrative. Let's look at an example from poetry. Here are two lines from John Keats' narrative poem, Isabella or the Pot of Basil. In this poem, Isabella falls in love with Lorenzo, who works for her two brothers. The brothers come to know about their love and they plan to murder Lorenzo. So that is the context of the two lines given here. So the two brothers with their murdered man rode past fair Florence. We know the brothers of Isabella and her lover Lorenzo are right now traveling to an isolated place where Lorenzo is going to be killed by the two brothers. But Keats says their murdered man. The adjective murdered anticipates the death of Lorenzo. And this is prolepsis or flash forward, the anticipation of later events in a story. And what is the purpose of using this technique? It offers us a glimpse of the future. And with that, we get a perspective. And with that, we interpret the present context. So that is one of the major functions of prolepsis. Before we move on, let's look at the rest of the narrative poem, Isabella. So after the death of Lorenzo, the ghost of Lorenzo visits Isabella and reveals the truth. Isabella goes to the spot, digs up the body, and brings back the head of her lover and buries it in a pot of basil and becomes attached to it. So that is the tragic end of this narrative poem. Let's go to the novel and let's look at how the technique prolepsis or flash forward is used in the novel. We have got The Prime of Miss John Brodie, written by the Scottish novelist Muriel Spark. What is this novel about? It's about a school teacher, Miss John Brodie, who is known for her unconventional way of teaching. But her unconventional way of teaching has an impact on a set of students, a set of 6 girls. But she later comes to know that one of her students betrayed her to the headmistress, and because of that, she was kicked out of the school. And as readers, we also want to know who betrayed Miss John Brodie. So that is the crux of this novel. But let's look at how Muriel Spark exploits the technique of prolepsis in her novel. We have got Eunice Gardiner, one of the 6 girls in the Brodie set. Right now, the narrative is about the young schoolgirl Eunice Gardiner and her visit to Miss Brodie. Eunice Gardiner was so quiet at first, it was difficult to see why she had been drawn in by Miss Brodie. Then Eunice began to chatter. Then there is the shift. It was 28 years after Eunice did the splits in Miss Brodie's flat that she, who had become a nurse and married a doctor, said to her husband one evening, "There is a long story attached to Miss Brodie's retirement. She was betrayed by one of her own girls. We were called the Brodie set. I never found out which one betrayed her." So this is how Muriel Spark exploits this technique throughout the novel. She talks about the present event and suddenly there is a shift, a flash forward. For instance, the narrative is about the young girl, but suddenly there is a flash forward, 28 years after. We are provided with a glimpse of the future self of Eunice, who becomes a nurse and gets married to a doctor. And more than that, we come to know that Eunice Gardiner is not the betrayer. She is very loyal to Miss John Brodie. And with that perspective, now we come back to the present narrative and we interpret the context in a different way. Of course, we eliminate Eunice Gardiner and we look for the betrayer. So this is how this technique functions. Okay. So with this, let's end today's video. Thank you so much for listening to this video. Please subscribe to Professor Academy's new channel, Professor Academy English. We offer courses for UGC NET and SET. Thank you so much.